Hey y'all.
Love it. Shake that pork chop with a do-rag wig. Yes.
With them butter beans.
I feel like you could remix that, like the choreography, to Single Ladies.
You really can. Like, I can see it. I can see it.
I can see it too.
Hey y'all.
Hey y'all.
This episode of Gay Side Stories will be a complete and utter mess because we're drinking Pink Panties, you know. The old
and
drink.
Also too as well, we had 2 shots of bourbon.
Just straight up bourbon because we some niggas.
So,
Bourbon
let's
Street.
get it crack-a-lagging. Welcome.
Hola.
Another episode of Gay Side Stories.
Stories.
I am your host, Trilificent.
And I am your other host, Chelshire.
Thanks, guys, for joining us
Another week.
Yeah.
Like, hey, y'all.
Hey.
I'm so glad y'all are staying with us.
Come on, return
like
business.
Y'all are bringing people to us. And
Yes.
y'all are great. I love
Yes.
y'all.
Absolutely.
We get random follows and random stuff, and y'all be sending random messages.
Hashtagging and sharing on Facebook and retweeting
everywhere.
on Twitter. I love
it.
it. We appreciate y'all.
We appreciate it all, for real. Like, no lie.
So,
no lie.
for return listeners who may not have done it already, or for new listeners, you can find us on SoundCloud, Google Play Music, iTunes, and Stitcher. Make sure that you go ahead and subscribe. You automatically will get new episodes when you do so. Share those links. That's how we grow. That's how more people find us.
Right.
You know, so we reach a bigger audience. And also, you guys can do us a favor and post comments and ratings on SoundCloud and iTunes. It also helps with our visibility. Yes, indeed. What?
See how I did that?
No, because I didn't hear what you said.
I said,
wop, wop.
I said teaser.
Don't repeat it.
I'm going to repeat it like Tiana Taylor did that damn run in Request at the end. That's all people.
Who knows that?
Nobody but
Who
me.
knows that?
But it's Tiana Taylor. Let me tell you. So she decided she was going to give you this run. And then guess what she did? Because she didn't think you heard it the right way, she had to re-put that run at the end of the
she
song.
did a mulligan like,
she was like,
Adele.
We going to hear this run today.
Can you run it back, please? All right. So let's get into this week's Trill Minds. So I got 2 stories for you guys this week. The first one is about a fairy tale. It's a book, and it's dedicated to the victims of the Orlando massacre. So these 2 authors, they dedicated the book to the victims because the tragedy happened like the day after they finished writing the book. So it's a children's tale. It's geared towards I think age range is like 5 to 10 years old.
Right.
The story is of like a farm boy and a prince, and they fall in love, and there's like some kind of feud over the farm boy's land, you know, with his family. One thing that was interesting was that the way that they wrote it said that the sexuality of the characters is not like the focus of the story. You know, it's just kind of like they just so happen to, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's I think, but that's just real life. Like, it's not, you know. And then another thing about it was that there's the fictional world that they created. A lot of the places are named after like important LGBTQ people, like Marsha P. Johnson and Matthew Shepard. So I thought that was pretty awesome. You guys can find that on Amazon. I'm sure you can find it other places, but I definitely saw it on Amazon. My other story is this one is a sad story. Just happened this past week. A transgender woman named Kiki Collins was shot and killed in Chicago. Only 24 years old. You know, so sad. She was found shot, and then she later died at the hospital. And messed up thing is the police and the local media, they originally misgendered her. I don't know how or why that happened, but it did. And then the other thing is, from what I read when I saw the stories, that the police don't really know a lot about what happened. Like, they don't know why it happened. I think they may have like a description of the person, but they don't know why it happened. So, R.I.P. to Kiki, and, you know, trans lives matter.
They do.
This is, it's just ridiculous, you know, just our transgender, you know, family just So that's all I have in Trill Minds. Make sure you check out that blog, people. There are more posts for you to enjoy.
Come on, enjoyment. Okay, let's try to lighten it up a little bit. So, the Trill Mind across from me. How did you get through your week? What is your schooling life?
Schooling life. So my schooling life, it went. Sorry, the drink has a lot of
it's real
fruit,
pulpy. That's what somebody told me this week when I had made strawberry margaritas. It's too pulpy. I can't drink it.
Okay,
I need a better blender, y'all.
My schooling life this week is I was listening to a lot of music. So I was listening to classical. I like to listen to classical music while I read.
I do too.
So I was doing that. But I also checked out some albums, some that were new and some that I had been meaning to check out for a while and I just forgot. So I listened to Sampha's album. Very chill. I actually liked it. I like his voice, so I like the album. Okay. I listened to Sid's album. Not bad. Probably need to listen to it again.
To get into it.
Yeah. I listened to Jadena's album, and I will be the first to admit that I have never really understood. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't get Jadena.
Right.
But I gave his album a try, and I actually kind of liked it, So, that's that. No shade.
He said kinda.
Well, I only listened to it once, so, I liked it based off of one listen. Which, because you know me.
But like I told y'all last week, I know my friend's being shady, and he don't even know it. That's how shady
That was not being shady.
He might not have been shady at that time, but he's a shady bitch.
This ain't about me, though. Boop, boop.
It's your school life.
Going on, I finally listened to Chance the Rapper's album Coloring Book, and I know I'm late, but I liked it for the most part. I listened to BJ the Chicago Kids album, I guess from last year or maybe whenever that was. I like his voice, but I did not like the album. Like, the content was just... Now, this will be a shade moment. I know y'all will call it shade. It's not really shade. It's just my observation. When I listened to his album, the album sounded like an ugly nigga made it. And then I Googled him, and he... But beautiful voice. Beautiful gowns, beautiful voice. Beautiful gowns, beautiful voice. So, Chelshire, how did you get through the week? What is your schooling life?
So, actually, y'all, I've been coloring. None of y'all like, what, bitch? Coloring. So, at work, because I work 13 hours a day sometimes.
Listen,
and
more than me.
I go to work, and my job is very stressful. So what I've been, and it's not stressful because it's hard work. It's just stressful because you talking to people all day and them bitches. I swear, people over the phone, they talking so much shit that I want to get in the plane to go to some people's houses and beat the fuck out of them. But that's just me. So I've been coloring, and I have been coloring adult coloring books. Like, I'm gonna show y'all. We're gonna share this stuff on Instagram. Like, I've been doing a lot of work. Like, I've been really coloring. I did this with 3 highlighters.
Come on.
And this is what I've been doing. Well, that's me. Shit.
That was not coloring. All right.
Like, that's those 3 highlighters.
Come on, highlighters.
Just 3. Pink, yellow, and blue. That's it.
Come on.
Like, and then my manager, she's been hanging them up and everything. It's been like... So I've really just been coloring at work, and it's been getting me through.
The thing about that is, I read this thing because I have coloring apps on my phone and on my iPad, and the thing that I read was that coloring is actually therapeutic. I 100% what you're doing. There are apps, people. So if you're stressed, find an adult coloring book, or find an app that it really does help.
It does.
I used to do that at work too when I had downtime or. When I was ready to throw a monitor at a bitch. So,
because I'm always ready to throw a monitor.
Yes, indeed. Deed and yes.
That's
okay. Yeah, we're definitely going to share these on the Instagram because that's pretty awesome.
Thank you.
Do you have a picture of the actual book that you've been coloring from too?
No,
I guess it doesn't matter.
Well, okay, so this is what's been going on because we're cheap. Somebody bought the books. And my manager's been copying them.
Yes!
In a copy machine.
Absolutely. But that is how you do it at work. She
went to the dollar store the other day and she saw the same books that's at Walmart for like $7 and $8 for $2 at the dollar store.
Of course.
So she started buying some more books and like posters and stuff. Yeah. And she was like, Jamie, I need you to do more because this is good. And she's like,
she should have picked up some goddamn crayons while she was there.
Well, she bought the markers. Like, I have actual, like the one I'm working on now, I'm doing with actual markers.
Okay.
And the one I did with the houses, those are actual markers. But I like to color with highlighters because I like to mix the colors.
Okie dokie.
But that's been me all week.
But it's very nice.
It's been fun.
Yeah. I think I saw something like that. I think I saw one on Facebook.
Yeah. Because I said I have too much time on my hand at work.
It's very nice, friend. It gives me a warm Mr. Rogers feel. Like, it just feels so warm and inviting.
It's better
and
than me because at work, this is me at work all day. You fucking bitch! La, la, la. Like, I just do that all day.
I hate you so much right now!
I'll cuss people out all fucking day at work.
I believe
And they be like, Jamie, you gotta calm down. Like, it got to the point one day I was so mad that I got out my desk. I went to my truck and I've recorded a video of me cussing the fuck out of somebody. And I mean, it's just like, I was so pissed. It was like spit cussing. Because in the video, it's like spit going everywhere. I was fucking pissed. I don't even know why I was so mad. But after I got it out.
You know, sometimes you just need to cuss a bitch out.
Right. So
even if you don't cuss the actual bitch out, just getting it out, it does help.
So
it is cathartic.
But
it's a
they
release.
say I have too many outbursts. So I went to my car and had the greatest outburst of them all. It's on video. I'll show you.
Yes, indeed. Come on, outburst. Recorded, too. I like
recorded outbursts.
All right. Let's move it on. So this week, I had something a little different in mind.
Right.
Stay with me.
We will.
I came across this article.
What article?
And the article said, well, the title of the article was 10 Gay Relationship Mistakes All Couples Should Avoid.
Come on, avoidance. Work avoidance.
Now, we're going to talk about each one. You know, we're going to give our little feedback. However, I want all of our listeners to take everything from the article with a grain of salt because it is from Huffington Post, and yeah. So, are you ready, my friend?
Completely.
Are you ready?
Are you ready for some football? I don't know what it just popped
I'm ready for some football booty. Okay.
Come on, football.
Listen. All right, so let's get into it. So the first one is open relationships.
Oh, girl.
And it says define, quote unquote, open. How you and your guy define having an open relationship determines whether you and your guy screwed up royally or masterfully making things work. It's all about boundaries and agreements, both of which need to be checked and discussed about every 3 to 6 months. The mistake is no boundaries, no agreements, no relationship, period.
I've thought about this, actually.
Okay.
And I was like, if I was in a long-lasting relationship with somebody that just, I don't know, I probably could do an open relationship, but it wouldn't be me on the open side. Because I don't see myself, I've never cheated on anybody, so I don't see myself just being like, oh, I need to go fuck somebody else. You know what I'm saying? But I know niggas. So if we
niggas gonna nig.
Right. So if you're going to have the open side, it wouldn't be me open, but I would let that person be open. But we would have to have a lot of rules before you could do some shit like that.
I agree. I think the main thing that I take from that is the communication.
Right.
Like, part of it is not going into every relationship thinking that
You gotta be
they're
my
all
nigga
the
for real
same.
for me to go there.
No. Thinking that they're all the same. Like, part of it is going into it and saying, okay, if we're going to be in a relationship, we need to define it. And whether it's an open relationship, whether it's monogamous, like, those things need to be defined. Right. I know a lot of people feel like that should not be the case, but you have to realize that every relationship is different because everybody is different.
Exactly.
You cannot have the same exact relationship with two different people. It's just not going to work. So like I said, the main thing from this is setting up your boundaries, speaking up and saying, this is what I will tolerate, this is what I will not tolerate, this is how it should be, this is how it shouldn't be, and making sure that you both are okay with the terms, that you agree to them, you adhere to them, and you move, you get on it and you move on. Like, I think that's very, very important. All right. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Number 2, to cling or not to cling. Says nothing's more embarrassing than having a trail of toilet paper clinging to. Bitch, what? Cling clinging to your sneaker as you walk out of the men's locker room into the free weights area at the gym. Bitch, you need
White people, y'all need to
what
get
the
this.
fuck?
I'm sorry. Ain't nobody walking out the goddamn bathroom with no goddamn toilet paper stuck to their goddamn shoe.
Like, this was much. Okay, anyway. It's actually more embarrassing to be clingy or not clingy enough in your gay relationship. Admittedly, getting a gay guy to commit is tough, or so they say. What's harder than that is the cling on, quote unquote, effect. The mistake, not finding balance between to cling or not to cling. How do you feel about this one, Chelshire?
Okay, so I am always to not to cling, but I cling in my mind. So
In my mind,
I've had situations where I have been the person that people feel that I'm not liking them the way that they're used to because I'm be so fuck you, I don't care. But that's just me on the outside. But in the inside, I'm like, where's this motherfucker at? What is going on? And I'm just like that. So I'm normally the not to cling because that's just how I come across. But I'm really clingy in my mind.
In my mind.
But I don't show it.
So do you feel like that's a mistake?
It's always a mistake. Not, well, let me take that back. Though, because I'm so nonchalant on the outer shell that you think I don't care.
Okay.
And that's the mistake that I make.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So for you, it would be you think you're not being clingy enough.
Right, because I have a
But
good
then
life.
it's just, but then then
But at
it's
the same time,
like,
I'm not finna-
how do you find that balance of, okay,
Right.
clingy enough so that you know, but then not clingy to the point where you're like, ugh, get off me.
Right, because in my mind, I'm real clingy because I'm like, oh, I need to know where this nigga's at, what's going on, what we doing, where we going, where you at every 5 seconds. But I come across like, bitch, what the fuck? Bye, have a great life. So they think that I don't care when I really do. And it's always a problem. I've had people not talk to me because they felt that I didn't care. But I did, but I didn't show them. That's just the Virgo in me.
I feel like this is a weird point to make
Right.
about relationships. Because off top, clinginess has a negative connotation.
Right.
You know, because you think about anything that clings, if it's not Velcro, if it's not, a Band-Aid to skin, it's just like, okay, clinginess in a relationship is frowned upon. Because, you need to give people their space.
Exactly.
I think personally this goes to the nature of your relationship, both participants' maturity level and the communication. If you set up those boundaries, so it's like, okay, look, I'm the kind of person where I would like to know where you are and what you're doing on a regular basis. You don't need to check in with me like I'm a PO, but I just like to know. Versus someone who's like, don't question me, don't ask me no motherfucking questions. When it's time for us to be together,
It's time.
it's time. I will be there, front and center, at attention. And I think it's just a matter of communication.
Right. Which takes us.
Because again, everybody's different. Every relationship is different. Because me, like you said, like me, I'm, I don't like to be questioned. Like I don't like nobody asking me questions. Don't ask me where I am.
It's not that
don't
I
ask
like
me
to
who
question. I like
you just like to know. But in order
like
for
to
you
know,
to
but
know,
at the same time,
you have to ask the question.
At the same time, I like to be questioned. Like I like people to want to know where I'm at. I don't know why. I'll be like, okay, oh, you want to know where I'm going? Like if I get a "what you do" text message, I'll be like, yeah, somebody want to know what I'm doing.
See, and I get a "what you doing" text
and
message,
you will
and
ignore
I'm
the
like,
fuck out of that. That's exactly how. You know what? I don't send him "what you doing" text message, but I want to do it just so he can send me the face, because I can see the face. Like, bitch, you know the fuck I ain't doing shit. Why the fuck you bother me with what I'm doing?
Exactly, and it's either gonna be that emoji, or if I feel like being especially petty, I'm gonna snap a picture of my face
Of
that
his
looks like the
actual
emoji
face. Right.
and send it to you.
And he will.
All right. Anything else on clinginess?
No, but that takes us right to the next one.
Yes, it does.
Because what were you talking about? Communication. Yeah. See, I was on my stuff this week.
I like you. I like that. All right. The next one says, saying something meaning nothing.
Oh, God.
Right. It says, if you're confused by this concept, which I am, then you're a victim of this syndrome. Hold on, bitch. Don't read me.
Come on, victim.
Wait a minute. How the fuck I'm getting read by an article that I'm reading? Anyway.
Because that's how the reading goes.
No, it doesn't. It says your gay relationship is on thin ice if you're communicating by assuming you said something clearly and later finding out that you actually, like, what the hell? That what you said actually meant nothing. Okay. Hello, it's time for a quote-unquote gay relationship rescue plan numero uno. Speak to communicate. Listen to learn and validate what you think you heard. The mistake, assuming what you said is what your guy heard. And no, earwax removal isn't going to help the matter.
That's some white people shit.
No, the way they wrote it is retarded. Is bad.
But what they said was good.
What they said is good. So basically what it's saying is
break it down.
You need to say what you mean.
Okay. You do.
You know, that way you don't have to worry about whether your partner is hearing something different when you say it. You know, so if I say we in a relationship, your partner may hear we in a relationship, but to them that may mean something different.
Right.
So if you say we're in a relationship and I expect your dick to only have one tunnel that is going in, and that is mine.
Unless it's an open relationship.
Unless it's an open relationship.
I'm playing.
And even then, it's like, you know, because I've seen it. People be like, okay, you can do this, but don't kiss.
Don't do this or
you know, don't take them out to dinner, stuff like that. So
one time.
I agree on this one that, and I feel like this applies in all facets of life. Say what the fuck you mean what the fuck you say.
Right.
End of story.
Stop saying what the fuck you mean through text messages, because I can read that a totally different way than how you meant it. Like, I have a way of reading text messages 3 times in 3 different voices because I have to make sure that I'm not tripping.
Because it is different in relationships.
It's not like a friendship text message.
Right,
like
because in friendship, when you friend, you know how you're friendly.
Right.
Like, if you send me a certain kind of text,
right,
I know how to read it because I know you.
We've been friends so long that I can say a certain thing, or you could say a certain thing, like just a greeting, and I know if something's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what kind of friends we are.
Right.
But in a relationship...
But if you my moo, you know...
You tell me, come home for dinner, I can read it like, come home for dinner, or... Come home for fucking dinner, bitch.
Right.
Like, it
or like if you having an exchange back and forth,
right.
and at the end it's whatever.
Right.
That could be taken.
It's whatever, and I guesses could get you killed because, and you could really be saying, "Oh, I guess," or
right.
I guess.
But that doesn't always translate in writing, in email, or text messages. So it is important.
A motherfucking K.
That's my favorite.
If you send me a K and you ain't my real life friend, I might cuss you out.
That's my favorite.
He'll send me a K and that's okay because I know him.
I send K's to everybody.
But if I'm talking to you, you say K, I might not ever talk to you again. Like, for real. I have stopped talking to people. The last text message in this phone will say K.
K.
Good luck with life, ho.
It's my favorite. But you know me well enough to know what I mean when I say K.
Right.
And you know me well enough to know what I mean when I say K in a dating situation.
Right.
Dating is generous because I don't do that. But you know what I mean. Right. So again, I don't know what all the rest of this bullshit in the article, what all this means, but point number 3 basically is say what you mean what you say.
Do what you do what you say, mean what you mean when you say, because it's your life, gotta make your own rules, and you got to do it your way. Come on, Pink. Yeah, I'm going way back to when Pink was black.
Pink ain't never been black.
When she was with
she ain't never been black.
Well, I'm just saying
it's a different climate.
Oh my God.
We gonna say she had an R&B album, but she was not black.
Okay, that's true.
That's a white bitch.
She's a white bitch,
and I like her.
But
that's a white bitch.
I like the R&B album. I don't like the rest of that shit.
I like the rest of it.
I don't.
But the R&B album.
But you already know how I am when it comes to music.
Yes, I know how you are with Caucasians. Hi, Caucasian listeners. We love y'all.
Love y'all.
We are here for y'all too. Solidarity. Unless you trash. Okay, moving on. The next one says, remaining in your gay relationship because it's comfortable. Woo! Woo! That is a word. Preach. Whoever wrote this, that is a word. I got my hand up to the sky right now. I got my hand up. My face is up towards the light. That is a word. All right.
Word, that is that.
It says, here's a little secret that we'll keep between us. Oh, Lord. Okay. No matter how much money he has, available party favors, quote unquote, to die for sex, that is a big one. Or the size of his loft apartment on Fifth Avenue, that's also a big one. If the relationship sucks, it sucks. It's a false sense of comfort to believe if I leave, I'll be single, and that's bad. Yes, you'll end up single and without his money or party favors or the great sex, but you might actually be happier. And it isn't that what you're really after. Ooh, I said that wrong. The mistake is creating a false sense of comfort, believing you need others to feel worthy when all you need is love. Self-love, to be exact. Come on, Chelshire, what you got on this one?
So I've been guilty of doing this, actually. So,
as fuck. Judge Judy guilty.
Like, bitch.
Judge Maybelline guilty.
You, across from me, did not have to just do that.
I did have to do it.
You did not.
Because what did we say when we started this podcast?
But you did not.
Chelshire went through it so that the other people don't have to. So it is my duty to make sure that it is highlighted when you fucked up. Because that is how you learn, and that is how our listeners learn. Amen?
Man A.
Amen.
Man A.
Continue.
Okay. And
shots, y'all.
We will talk about that whole situation in parts because it was a whole situation.
In parts because
it was so
listen.
much. But I did stay because it was comfortable and I was miserable. I was sad. I gained a lot of weight.
He was isolated.
I didn't talk to anybody, including my mother, who I'm very close with. TJ would hear from me maybe once a week, if that, and we talk every day.
It was so bad that I wrote him off, and I was like, well, if I hear from him, I hear from him, and if I don't, I don't, because I have tried. It ain't much I can do.
And I stayed because it was comfortable, because I felt that, at that time, that if I didn't stay with that person, I would be alone. Not knowing that I was super alone in that situation. Did y'all hear that? I said if I stayed with him, I thought I was going to be alone. But I was alone while I was staying with that person.
Ooh, tabernacle. Ooh, if I had a tambourine, I would.
Because that person made sure that I isolated myself. Luckily for me, and a lot of people are not this fortunate, I had a really good support system behind me to get me out of that situation. And they still cared about me, even though they didn't talk to me the way that they would normally do. And they got me out of that shit. And I am me. I'm here with you today, and I'm happy. I'm not happy.
No, I'm just thinking about all the shit that you went through and how you... I mean, you were really a different ass motherfucker. I mean, I'm... No, I know. I mean, I know you know, right. But like it's been a while since you've been out of that. So whenever I think about it,
stayed at home and I cried pretty much every night by myself, and I couldn't call them. It was horrible.
Well, you could have, but
I didn't have a phone. Remember, I could not call y'all.
Oh shit! God damn.
That was a part of my life that was just.
Listen,
I'm getting emotional thinking about it, but guess what? This is what Gay Side Stories is for. Like, for real. I'm glad that I am out of that. And I am living my life today.
We cry together.
But let's keep it moving. How do you feel about that?
He's trying to throw it over to me because his ass is over there tearing up.
Y'all, it was horrible.
It's not funny, but
it's not funny, but I'm glad to be out of it. Like, we'll talk about it.
But it's one of those things where it was so dramatic, so traumatic.
So much.
That, you know, when you think about it, all you can do is laugh and be like, I made it through.
I did. And you can too.
And you know what? I just agree. I agree. And, you know, I'm not one for staying in situations, any kind of situation, just because it's comfortable. Because, you know.
It will make you uncomfortable to get your ass out.
You have to.
One shoe at a time.
Oh, no.
That's the insider.
Oh. Leave it to Chelshire to highlight one of my famously petty moments.
I tried to make him pettier, y'all.
You and a few other people.
I was like, send them left ones.
You and a few other people were just like, and I was just like, y'all have to chill. You know, side note. You know, you have real friends when your real friends are ready to go to war over shit that barely even bothers you.
Still go to war today.
And we'll still go to war apparently because you're not the only one. It's a few of my friends that are like, just name the day and the time and the place.
Do I need to get a rental car and drive? Because my truck ain't leaving Houston because that bitch is raggedy.
Y'all, it is not that serious, but y'all just be ready to go to war. So, if you got friends that's ready to flip a table and you ain't worried about it,
flip a table. They still looking for
those are the people that you hold on to. But yeah, I agree. Staying in a relationship because it's comfortable, but like I said, the big ticket items that I took from this were because the sex is good, or you know, the money, or having a place to stay. Because you know, we've talked about. I don't know who coined the phrase. I know my friend Mo talked about the hobosexuals. You know, the ones that like to get into relationships because they need a place to stay,
a place to live.
And I believe Chelshire can attest to that, but we'll get into that on another Gay Side Day.
Surely will.
But you have to put your self-worth first, you know, because situations like that, you're going to be unhappy. And depending on what kind of person you are, the kind of person that will take advantage of you and try to isolate you from your family and your friends, those are the kind of people, I mean... Those are the Chris Browns of the world.
Admitted to it after everything was said and done.
Those are the Chris Browns of the world.
Not knowing that my support system is a great support system.
You know,
y'all.
So
y'all know who y'all are. All of y'all.
All right, let's move on. This next one's kind of the way that they wrote it is weird, but the point is valid. So stay with me, y'all, because
the hall passes.
Yes, it says no hall passes allowed. Remember how you feared having an accident, quote unquote, because Mrs. What the fuck? Mrs. Applebaum wouldn't give you the hall pass until you calculated the square root of 64 or recited the Gettysburg Address. Well, you just might have to find yourself with the bathroom all to yourself if you and your partner give each other hall passes. I'm assuming that's like when you were in second grade or something. Well, whenever you did square roots. You should both feel free to do your own thing with your own group of friends, but don't make things more complicated than they have to be. The mistake, sucking the life out of your gay relationship with the one-way train ticket to Distrustville. Distrust me once, shame on you. Distrust me twice, see ya. I don't understand that part. Here's what I took from this. Basically, your relationship should not suffer because of your friendships and vice versa.
Right.
It's very important to find a balance. Now, me personally, when my friends get into relationships, I kind of fall back because I understand that the dynamic changes. You have someone significant in your life, hence the phrase significant other. So your time changes, your schedule changes, you
have things to do.
Your availability emotionally and different kinds of, all of that changes. So I kind of naturally fall back, and that came from because I had people who would get into a relationship and then would disappear. And another side note, that did happen with Chelshire, and I was kind of at the point where I was like, look,
with who?
Because I didn't know what was going on in his relationship. He wasn't sharing with me.
Yeah. And
I was like, look, you know.
I didn't disappear when they were good because I'm not that type of person. I disappeared when they were horrible.
Right.
Because I didn't want none of my friends.
The reason why at that time is because I was coming off the heels of someone else that had done that to me twice.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, I'm not going to be, you're not going to be using me to dump all of your emotional turmoil on and then disappearing when you get some new dick.
No.
Like, Especially when I wasn't getting no motherfucking dick.
But see, with me, it wasn't that. It was the fact that I didn't want them to know what I was going through, because my friends, the one across from me especially, are very overprotective of me. So,
is it overprotective, or is it just the right amount of protection?
It's a little overprotective sometimes.
Lies.
It is a little.
How?
Not you all the way, because you're more chill than other people. But
I've learned to try to give people a chance. That's why.
Right.
Well, let me rephrase.
But all my friends
I've learned
have
to try to give people a chance.
That's why I always tell them that they can't meet the person that I marry until after the marriage, because I
don't stop. I don't want to hear about that. Move on. Move on. Move on.
But I forgot where I was going.
Whoopsie.
But yeah, so
it's important to strike that balance with your friends.
It really is.
You know, and you know, the argument that, you know, I know because some friends be like, look, I was here before that nigga, and I'm here after that nigga,
hopefully
and da-da-da-da-da. That's all fine and good, but you have to,
because some people don't be around after that nigga.
But you have to learn. I mean, first of all, friendships change. The dynamic of your friendship changes as you grow older. That's just a way of life, because you change,
right,
and your friend changes,
right.
But, you know, the main thing from this is, like I said, don't ruin your relationship with your friendships, and don't ruin your friendships because of your relationship. Learn how to strike that balance. And if you have a partner that does not understand that, or does not, you know, they don't understand it, or they don't have it themselves, or they believe that you should spend all of your time with your partner and your friends are secondary or third or whatever, that may not be the relationship you need to be in. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Like, if you're that type of person, you need to find somebody else who believes that too.
Right.
But don't get with the social butterfly who has tons of friends, who's constantly going to happy hour and all this kind of stuff, and be like, you supposed to be with me every night. Why you got to go out and drink and da-da-da, da-da-da? Because you're going to be un-the-fuck happy. Amen?
Both of y'all.
Both of y'all. He gonna be mad, or she.
Whatever.
Whatever. They're going to, I'm saying them because, you know, you might be in a poly. I don't know. What I mean is, they're gonna be mad, and you're gonna be unhappy.
I said, come on, Polly Pocket. Right, that's the new name for it.
But when you said that, I thought about, like, somebody's ass with, like, a multiple entries. Okay, moving on, because I don't know.
Multiple entries.
I don't know.
Tattoo right there on the side.
That would be a hell of a tramp stamp.
Right. And not even, no, never
Can
mind.
you imagine with, like, some good graphics?
Ooh, a 3D
It would be
one.
terrible, but it would be good.
So good.
Okay, we're trash. All right, the next one. The next one says separate lives.
Life separate.
Okay, follow me. It says, I've never quite understood gay relationships in which the partners are in serious committed relationship but don't live together. I'm not advocating first date U-Haul truck lesbians. Move in immediately. White picket fence, warp speed relationships. And I also understand that sometimes things get in the way, like the question of how would I hook up with other people if we're living together. Bitch, what?
If y'all... never mind.
If that's your priority, maybe it's time to rethink this whole relationships thing. This is why I told you to take all of this with a grain of salt, because the way that this article is written is kind of weird. To me, anyway. All right. The mistake. If you can't live with your man, what other relationships in your life aren't you able to live with? How you do anything is how you do everything. I'm going to let you go first, because I have some thoughts. But I'm going to let you go first.
Okay. So I've been guilty of doing the move in real quick. So I'm not doing that shit anymore. And I have no problem separating you from my stuff and me from your stuff, and you staying where you live and me staying where I live. I ain't gonna tell you where I almost went. So,
oh my god.
Okay, so I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm goofy
He
as
is
fuck.
trash.
I really am.
Garbage.
Like you could throw me out there, and I'm going to come back. Anyway, so I've decided that I'm not going to do that.
I'm decided that you can't move in my house.
Since I've decided that, I've talked to a few people, and they didn't like the fact that I wasn't trying to stay at their house every night, or wanted them to stay at my house every night. More of the stay at their house every night. Because if you want to come over here, y'all know my doors are open. Shit, that's 2 couches. Y'all can sleep over there. That was the trash. Shut up. I hate him. Bro. It's like today is Insider Joke Day. It's not even funny. We'll get y'all inside on later episodes.
Maybe.
More than likely.
Well, some of that shade inside though.
But it
has to stay inside.
No, it doesn't.
Inside.
Because I have a way of introducing the shade.
Inside.
After episode 10. Ha!
I'm not even sure what episode 10 is going to be.
We don't know yet, but I'm just saying after that episode, that's when we said we could. Oh. Hey, you know I'll ask questions.
Trash.
But anyway, so since people have really been mad at me because I wouldn't go there with them, so I've been told, well, you don't care about me because you don't want to stay with me or you don't want to come to my house every night. But bitch, I pay rent in my apartment monthly.
My name is on the lease.
My name is on that lease. I want to spend 31 days in my apartment. I'm
Hello.
sorry. I mean, I can spend 28, but I'm going to need some time in the apartment I pay for.
Right.
Because me and Marcus live in this bitch.
Right. Not to mention if you have a dog. Like,
right. Like what you want me to do? Well, bring Marcus. No.
Who has time for that? No one.
Marcus eats Caesar and Beneful mixed together. Marcus is bougie as fuck. He is not finna come to your house and
My
be
dog
like,
is bad and bougie.
Like, for real. He is not finna come to your house and be like, oh, I'm at home. Let me go lay down. Where's my bed?
Like, animals don't acclimate to a new environment.
He will get to your house and run around for an hour and a half.
If you got the wrong animal, he gonna come and shit and pee.
Well, glad I don't. Because maybe.
How do I feel about this? You know, in the immortal words of prophetess Whoopi Goldberg, I don't want someone in my house. And that's just how I feel about it. I don't think that there's anything wrong with being in a relationship and y'all don't live together or don't have a plan to at some point live together. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Again, different strokes for different folks.
Right.
And it's weird to me the way that the article is written that, oh, if you in a committed relationship and you don't live together, that's weird. No, bitch, you weird. First of all, for worried about what other people are doing
in their own house. Bitch, you can live in your house and I can live in mine. Shit.
Like, if y'all want to live together, then live together. But if
y'all
don't,
don't.
Shit. Who the fuck is you to be judging?
Who the fuck do you think I is?
Shit. I don't want nobody in my motherfucking house, bitch.
I don't have time.
So, I mean, and I've been talking about this a lot in the past however long. Because, I mean, I'm not really relationship oriented. I don't.
Yeah, we are so different that way.
I just, I get exasperated with people very quickly. So yeah, I don't. But again, I don't think that I think that this is I think that there's something in here, like the writer is revealing more about themselves on this point.
Of course.
Because when I read it, and I read between the lines and behind the scenes, to me it looks like if y'all in a committed relationship and y'all are not trying to live together, then y'all are living separate lives, meaning somebody is doing something that they're not supposed to be doing. And it doesn't have to mean that. So from this one, I would take do what works best for you and yours. If you are with a man who is like, we need to be sleeping together every night, I want to drool on your pillow and mine, then, I want to go get some sleep number beds and bitch crank my shit up to 75, then be in that kind of relationship. But if you with somebody that's like, look, I love you, the sex is good, good dick, good pussy, whatever. You cook real good and I appreciate, the lasagna, whatever. But I like my own space and I like to be here. and then we can have slumber parties and play dates. But I like my own space. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I think it's just something that you need to identify and talk about and make sure that you're okay with.
Right.
And if you're not okay with it, then you need to let that be known, and don't try to change how you feel just to be in a relationship with this person. Because if they feel like for me, for example, if I get with somebody and they're like, okay, I mean, that's cool, I guess. Ain't no I guess, because I'm not going to change my mind later.
Right.
Well, I'm not going to say never. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
But the likelihood of me changing my mind about wanting to live together and move in is slim to shit. Like, right. I don't want to look at you every day. Right. I don't want you shitting on the same toilet as me. I don't want you taking a shower. I don't want you using... I don't want that. I want my own space. I want to wake up and... it's a brand new day by myself. You know, I don't want nobody in my space. True. But that doesn't mean that if I'm with you, I don't care about you, or I don't love you, or that I'm trying to...
That just means I want to be by my motherfucking self, ho.
Right.
Shit.
I'm not trying to live separate life. Bitch, I ain't James Bond. Fuck you think this is? I am too tired. I am too tired and too lazy and too forgivable to be trying to live a separate life. What you see is what you get. When I'm in my house, I'm in my house. You can, and Chelshire can attest to that. We share each other's location on iOS.
We do.
And we be at the motherfucking house.
All the time.
all the
if
time.
You ain't at the house, I know you ain't at the house, and that is never.
Right. Exactly.
And the same thing over here.
Same thing.
My house is so comfortable. That's why they call it Bar Chelshire, because it's an actual... Because I like to go to the bar, but I don't like to leave my house. So why not make my... money. Why not make my house into the bar? So all my friends come over.
He got 3 couches. He got stools. He got lights. He got drinks. He got camera. He got action.
You think you are at the motherfucking club when you come here.
If and you get fucked up, you got plenty of places
that
you can sleep.
You can lay your ass down and get yourself together.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's move on. The next one says it's just to make... It's just to make friends. Come on, y'all. We about to have a church moment on this one. Apps, or as we call them, hashtag them apps. Apps have overtaken all of our lives. I personally can't live without the app that warns me. Sorry, y'all. I've had some drinks. That warns me.
This episode of Gay Size.
That warns me there are only 4 squares of toilet paper left on the roll. What app is that? I need that app.
That one, bitch. Well, you get you.
It sure saves get a notification. Me.
Right. At the store, bitch, you need some cheese.
I would be like, outstanding. I'm so glad you reminded me of that. I was trying to make some cheese. All right. I also hear of more and more gay men, me included, who use gay-specific apps like Grindr, Scruff, and the likes for making friends and networking. Honestly, the mistake, not calling a spade a spade. If you can't be fully honest in your gay relationship about your app fetish, then your gay relationship won't be honest with you. I don't know about the wording of that, but here's what I take from this. Because it is true. Mm-hmm. You know, depending on where you live, or really depending on your disposition. And I think that's discounted a lot. Mm-hmm. Depending on where you live or your disposition, because you may not be the friendly, outgoing, you know, type of gay that can just go anywhere and start talking to people and make friends. Because I know I sure as fuck am not. You know, so you use those apps and you make those connections and you make friends. But like this said, not calling a spade a spade. I think a lot of gays go into relationships saying, oh, it's just to make friends, but they're not being honest. Right. I think this more goes towards honesty than it does actual apps. True. Because you could, I could say, oh, I don't have that app. I could delete it before I come over, or, you know, in the instance that you can see my phone. But when I'm by myself, I could have the app. Right. And I could be doing whatever. It's a matter of trust, and it's a matter of honesty. And I think a lot of people, like, get into relationships when they don't want to be in a relationship. They want to be able to do whatever. Or they're in the wrong kind of relationship. Right. Like, if you still want to get on app and chase scattered ass, then you don't need to be in a committed relationship. Exactly. You don't need to be in a monogamous relationship. You need to be in an open relationship. You need to find somebody who's like, I don't really care about that, or here are my ground rules for it, and go do what you do. and stop trying to make somebody fit what you want them to fit, and find somebody who, because I promise you, there are people out there that's like, I'm cool with the shits.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah. That's for 2 people.
Juan LaFonta. I'm sorry. People look at that. Trash. I love it though. I just want to see Frida perform that. Hey Frida, can you perform Juan LaFonta for us, please?
So me.
Juan LaFonta.
And how I feel about those apps. Okay, so I guess I'm on the apps. I guess.
Mm-hmm. I'm taking a break from them because fuck y'all.
And I really do get on there to like see what type of people is out there, because I have met quality people that way. But if I'm talking to somebody and I'm in a committed relationship, I can leave that shit alone in a heartbeat. I could just be liking somebody and leave that shit alone, because it's just how my mind is wired. That I don't need that shit in my life. And there should be people be knowing where you at all the time. Location on. They be like, "Oh, you right next door to me. What's up? What's the deal?" No, I ain't got time for none of that bullshit.
What's the deal? I'm on the toilet. That's what the deal is.
Shit, I'm cleaning myself.
And not for you.
I'm cleaning myself.
Change the game when that fleet drops.
You know, I'm still singing a song in my head.
I know.
And that's what makes it so bad. Because it's so much disrespectful shit that just popped up in my mind.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I have so many songs about Fleet.
But anyway, so me talking to people, and the thing with those apps is they don't sign you out.
Depending on which one. Jack doesn't.
It doesn't at all. And I tried to sign myself out of that app before.
You can't.
And you really
I've
can't.
read the
So
fine
I
print.
went online to see how you sign yourself out of that app.
You can't.
And they was like, well, if you don't open it for 3 days, they'll sign you out.
Right.
That is a motherfucking lie.
I don't know why they do that.
Because it doesn't.
Jack, just let us sign out.
Right.
We gonna sign back in.
Sooner or later. Because I was actually talking to somebody. And one day, they sent me like 30 pictures of themselves.
Come on, 30.
And was like, you better remember who the fuck I am. And I was like, well, what the fuck? Who the fuck? But I said, I know who the fuck you are. What is going on? Like, I'm really clueless of what's going on.
You better remember who the fuck I am.
They saw me on Jacked. But I hadn't been on Jacked because I just hadn't been on there. But because they thought I was looking for something else, they kind of like messed up us.
I'm looking for something,
and I kind of hate that moment because it was dramatic as fuck, of course, because y'all know I'm dramatic. And it kind of messed up our little thing that we had going on because they thought that I was, but at the same time, bitch, you on here? Shit, you had to get on there to see if I was there. Even though you say I got on there to see if you was there, it don't matter. I wasn't on there. You should have known I wasn't on there because I really wasn't, but that app doesn't let you sign out. And I think if you get a message, it starts to 3 days over or some shit. Because like I haven't been on that app.
It may not even be, but you know, Jack has been having problems for like the past 3 years. I haven't been on that app
in like 2 weeks, right? And I'm getting active messages. Like I keep getting messages like I'm on there. I'm like, but I haven't been on here. What the fuck is going on?
Because we know they've been having problems. We know that they had a glitch where people's pictures were unlocked for the whole world to see.
I should have been there that day because I heard about it, but I was like, I don't care.
I didn't care. I'm like I say, I'm on a hiatus.
I get a whole bunch of news every day, so I don't see that shit.
I don't want to be bothered with the apps right now. You know, but with all things, you know, I just kind of go through a natural cycle where I'm just like, okay, I'm tired of this. I'll take a break. But I had a situation where my significant other was getting messages, and I was like, skirt. And they were like, you know, it's just, you know, for friends. You know, I have a friend that I've been talking to, And it's not that I had a problem with it because I'm not the type of person who has issues with trust. Because if I don't trust you, then I'm not going to be with you. But the thing about it is I didn't like for me seeing it to be the first time that I heard about it. Like if you truly got friends, because I understand, because I'm the same way. Like, you know, some people like you cool, but you're not cool enough to have my real information. Right. So you jacked cool. You growler cool.
Kick cool.
You know, but you not iMessage cool. You not iOS cool.
I might get you a kick name. There you go.
That's it. And that's it. So, you know, I don't see a problem with that. But again, the honesty, like I said, and don't let the first time that your partner finds out about it to be when they hear that whatever that noise that Jack makes.
Oh my God.
Or that noise that growler makes. You know, don't let that be the first time. Anything else?
Nope.
All right, moving on. Okay. This one is weird. This one is weird. I'm just going to say that. It says, regular testing. Trust me, as someone who's been in my gay relationship for over 12 years, bitch, fuck you. I know the value of being tested regularly. And so does my man. Every healthy gay relationship gets tested. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a healthy gay relationship. We push buttons, ignore needs, and think we're the only one not getting the attention we desire. The mistake? Assuming your gay relationship is above being tested. Test, or the relationship could go to rest.
Come on, rest test.
Of course, test out of love for yourself, for him, and for the good of your relationship.
Okay.
Bitch, what the fuck? And what the fuck, bitch? This doesn't make sense to me. Like, I agree with the point of it's foolish to feel like your relationship is above being tested.
Right.
However, feeling like you need to test it is strange to me. Like this part talking about, we ignore each other's needs. Well, what kind of shit is that?
This is where I'm getting from this.
Explain it to me. Okay. I don't get it.
Going through the list.
Yep.
They're talking about testing, but they're also talking about open relationships and hall passes.
Oh, you mean the list in whole?
In the whole, because we're getting to the end part. So
yeah, we are.
I'm like trying to say they're trying to link it all together. So if you're gonna have a relationship where y'all are doing all this extra, you know what I'm saying?
I can see that.
Because if you're giving your mate this open relationship with these rules, ain't no telling what they could or could not be bringing back to you.
Yes, I agree with that. I'm not sure I agree that this is how they meant it, because a lot of what I take from these, it feels like they are going off of their experiences with a lot of different relationships. And so the testing one, I think, is specific to their relationship, this 12-year relationship. But, I mean, I'm just going off face value of how they wrote it. It's like, we test the relationship. Now, if they mean testing comes out of it naturally, because sometimes you do neglect your partner and you don't mean to. Or sometimes you do feel like this motherfucker don't get me. He don't understand that I'm hungry and I need my motherfucking butt rubbed. I get that, but if they mean like, and the reason why I say that is because it's after the mistake part where they're like test or the relationship could go to rest, and it's like test out of love for yourself, for him, and the good of your relationship. To me, this reads as you need to test your relationship, and that's the part that I don't understand. Like, if your relationship is good and healthy...
Don't test me, ho, because if you test me, I'm going to fail that bitch on purpose because I'm petty and childish. And
because this doesn't make sense to me.
Because I love to, if we're taking it that way and you trying to test me, so you bring some fine-ass, Morris Chestnut-ass motherfucker in front of me talking about, you going to look at him? Hell yes, bitch, I'm going to look.
I might even taste.
I might walk up to their face and lick the side of their cheek just because I know your bitch ass is testing me and I want to fail the motherfucking test. What you going to do?
Because what you going to do?
Because I'm going to test
what
your
you
ass
do,
back. But that's just me.
This is weird to me. So
that's just me.
I mean, I guess if you feel like your relationship needs to be tested to the point where, you need to conduct regular testing like the emergency alert system, have at it, I guess. But to me,
this is a test of the emergency broadcast system. This is only
where
a test.
Where the fuck you at?
Right.
I don't get it.
Which I know I like them WID texts.
We're not talking about that. So you guys, I don't know about this one. Like I said, if you feel like that's what your relationship needs, have at it, have fun. Turn in the Scantron and hopefully they pass. But for me, myself.
That shit don't work anyway. Remember
I
you
don't
said that
get
whole list of shit you had to do before I would talk to you?
We're gonna talk about that one day.
I had like a whole
That
test.
I mean that idea. We're gonna talk about that one day.
And I used to give
But
everybody that
we're
test.
gonna have homework before we do.
Oh no.
Yes. Okay, let's move on. All right. We got this one. We got one more. It says avoiding money talks.
Girl, you know you better watch out.
Some guys only about me being late to my own shows. I don't know.
I don't know where that came from.
I don't know. Lauren, girl, why are you late? Just tell the people you're tired. You don't feel like doing it. Like
Lauren don't want to sing.
she don't.
She only sings.
And she can't even sing.
She gotta pay that damn tax
right.
bill.
And she can't even sing the songs the way that they recorded.
When she get the 18 hours, like she be like, "Here we go, bitches. Y'all ready for this fucking song?
like this,
Let me speed it up real quick."
I guess.
Okay.
All right. It says just because we're gay, it doesn't mean we're immune from having money talks. Mm-hmm. If you can't talk about the big stuff, then the rest of the talks are just kind of fluff. Not that money is everything, but when you start analyzing the water bill based on who was home more on which days of the month, it might be time to have a real conversation. The mistake, wish I could see Chelshire's face. The mistake,
Water bill, I will kick your ass.
Nickel and diming each other's spending habits in our heads rather than banking on the fact that a real conversation about the state of the finances could lead to more cash in the love bank. Oh, girl, what the fuck? Okay, what do you feel about this one?
I don't feel anything because bitches.
Bitches.
Okay, so when it comes to money, it can be real tricky of how y'all are gonna do everything. You know what I'm saying? That's when you're living together and doing all that bullshit. I've never been fortunate enough to be in a relationship with somebody I was living with that had motherfucking money to bring to the table. So my chicken just had to spread a little bit more thin for two motherfuckers. Because so, and we will talk about all of that later. Like we really will. We will get all into that bullshit.
It is not funny, but the way that you
because I'm like, bitch, what? 2 incomes? Where does that work? But if I did, I always thought about like if I was with somebody and they had an actual job,
had an actual income,
and they had their own car,
consistent income,
right? And they worked and I worked. Because I'm very comfortable. Y'all know that I'm very comfortable. Because I thought about this. If I was talking to somebody, and let's say they wanted to live with me, God, Lord, it just stressed out my whole fucking everything. I'm just stressed now. But I haven't moved, and I'm living in the same apartment that I've been staying in. Okay, and this person moves in with me. I personally would not ask them for rent money, only because that's not changing. My rent is not going up because you're moving in with me, because I'm not telling my apartment people that you stay with me, because we are not even going to go there. But I expect you to be saving for us to go somewhere else. You get what I'm saying? So I shouldn't be like, you shouldn't be broke. You know what I'm saying? You should not be broke at all. Like, if something comes up, you should have it. When it's time to move, you should have it, because you should be saving your shit, because we're staying where. But other bills, I shouldn't have to worry about either.
Right.
Because I'm paying the rent. Bitch. Shit. So I shouldn't have to see a light bill. I shouldn't have to see what the cable look like. That shit ain't the rent. And when it's time for me to get a new car, you better have that motherfucking down payment, ho. I'm playing. I'll get my own down payment.
Me and my girls book car keys.
Right.
I feel like money talks are very important. Obviously.
They are important. Yeah.
But I think the extent of it, again, it depends on what kind of relationship you are in. And the main thing from this is the communication.
Going back to number three.
Because
number 3, I just made that.
Well, whatever. You know, I mean, the main thing in any relationship, gay included, is the communication. Because
it's number 3.
You know, because just like you said, if I'm paying the rent, then I don't expect this, and this. But those are the kind of you still need to communicate that kind of stuff. And I 100% agree. I mean, but I'm of the mindset of, you know, let's work it out amongst each other. If I, you know, because if the rent is $400, then you ain't doing nothing.
Right.
You know, if we live in, you know, in the projects,
I wish my rent was $400 now.
You know, and the roaches,
Lord,
are roommates, then that's different.
But if
the rent is $1,200, if the rent is $1,200, then I can see. Look, I don't want to hear about no other bills because the lights, the cable, the water, utilities, none of that is
$1,200
even
I'm paying every month.
Maybe a third
of this $1,200 I'm paying every
of the
month.
rent.
Right.
So,
and the shit better not get cut off, and I better not see no late notices. Pay that shit and leave me alone.
Right. But at the same time, you might be in a situation where your man wants to pay all the stuff. He don't want you. In which case, I agree with you. In which case, if your man is paying for everything, don't take it upon yourself to me. All of my money is disposable. Save some motherfucking money. Right. Do some nice things for your man who's paying for everything. You know, and if you were the one who, and I at one point was guilty of this, if you're the one paying for everything, don't try to use that and, you know, hold it over the other person's head. Right. Like if that's the agreement that you both have agreed to be into. Whoa, shit! What the fuck?
Come on.
If that is the agreement
that you have agreed to.
Right. Whew, that whiskey or bourbon, whatever.
We have bourbon.
If that's the agreement, then you know, be accountable to that, and don't try to use those things as weapons against your partner. But all of this about cash in a love bank, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what.
That'll be fun. I wouldn't even say a love bank. Like maybe y'all could do something, and y'all just like put something aside.
Yeah. And
then like when y'all got so much there, y'all take like a trip or some shit. I can see that in that. You
like
know?
Like in my situation, I felt like it would be nice if I'm paying all the bills, it would be nice if sometimes I come home and my partner is like, don't take your shoes off. You know, we're going out to eat my treat. Or, you know, hey, you know, I go to work and I get a package. And it's something that, you know, I had talked about but just didn't get around to buying.
Right.
That kind of stuff. You know, I think that it's important to do those kind of things for your partner. Just so your partner that's paying for everything
doesn't feel like, bitch, so here we go, another day at work. Let me go home and pay all these motherfucking bills while your bitch ass sit on this couch and watch this motherfucking TV.
Or for the other ones who feel like, you know, my kibbles and bits are my payment. Like, unless that's the agreement,
ain't no payment.
Then
ain't no money coming out that. None. We might have said bottoms lives matter last week, but bitch, you ain't paying no bottoms bills. Right. This fucking. Let me stop.
That bottom ain't paying the cable bill. When Comcast call, you can't say, "Well, what address do I need to mail my bussy to?" Like, that's not how that works.
What if it did? Y'all motherfucking hoes be mailing y'all bussy all over the world. Y'all be like, you know what? You get a bussy. You get a bussy. Everybody gets a bussy.
Your man come home and be like, where's mine? Be like, well, see, the way that the bills are set up.
Could you imagine? Well, I was going to give you some tonight, but I had to pay this cable bill.
If you want lights so that we can see each other, motherfucker.
So that goes back to the Oprah relationship.
Right. Listen, this is too much. It's too much.
It is.
It's too much. All right, let's talk about the last one.
Zipping
it about sex.
Of course.
Shh. Let's not talk about sex. Really? Gay men are supposed to be the kings of sex. That's a lie. Okay. Talking about sex seems to be everybody's hang-up. That's true. Even in a gay relationship. Very true. The mistake? What doesn't get talked about doesn't get done. How much fun is that? Answer, not very. You know, I just agree. This is one of those situations where I feel like that old saying, closed mouths don't get fed. If you like some shit, open your mouth and let people know. Let your partner know. Hopefully you've already let your partner know so that they're not surprised. You know, like, don't spring some shit up on your partner and be like, well, you know, I like for my boo to shit on my chest and rubbing on my nipples. Like, that's not no shit that you just spring up on a motherfucker.
Y'all got to ease into that pain.
This,
man.
you know, you can't just come out of nowhere and be like, I like to be painted with all the colors of the wind. That's just not how that works. No. You need to ease into that kind of shit, and you need to let that shit be known early. You know, like stuff that's kind of traditionally off the rails. But even if it's not off the rails, it could be tame stuff. If I like my toes licked or sucked, hell, if I just like to be in a certain position, you know, then
just do it up.
That's the kind of stuff, you know. But a lot of but we talked about that last week a little bit when we were saying, you know, we don't open up our mouths in these situations and be like, okay, that didn't feel good, or that did feel good, or this is what I want to do, this is what I like. I think it's very important to talk about sex, be vocal about sex, be vocal about what you don't like, be vocal about what you like, and get you somebody that's on the same page, because as Tumblr has taught us, there is whatever you're into, there is a some bitch out there that is also into it and cannot wait to link with your ass. It may be over the internet, but they will link with your ass over the same shit. It is true. I know it. I've seen it. Chelshire knows it. He has seen it. Mm-hmm. Anything else to add to that?
No.
Okay.
Not the sex talk. No, I don't get sex, so.
No, Lord. The last of, we're going to have a sex episode one day. I just don't know how we're going to do it yet.
I'll be like, bitch, I don't know what that is. I know what a nude is, but yeah, we'll talk about that. Y'all be like, are you serious?
Mm-hmm. Okay, the last of the article says, I'm quite sure you have made your own list of quote-unquote mistakes, anticipate making, or refuse to admit you've made. Yes, we did. In your trail of gay relationships. But remember that there are no mistakes, only purposeful bitch. Mm-hmm. You know what? I'm actually not going to read the rest of it.
Right. Because, bitch, fuck you and your judgment. I mean, and your list.
I'm actually not going to read the rest of it.
It is not.
Okay. Do you have any closing thoughts on this?
No. I mean, we went through it. We got it. We talked about it. I mean, every relationship is going to be different.
Right.
So you can't go through this list and be like, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, because you never know what you're going to be thrown in that relationship when you're talking to someone.
Because every relationship is different. Every person is different.
And you never know what you're going to tolerate and not tolerate until you go through it. But I advise you all to go ahead and talk about it, communicate with the person when it comes to all aspects of everything on this list. If you feel that you spending too much money,
take it a step further and say everything that's important to you.
Right. But not just this list, but if you want to just use this list as a reference, right. I would, when it comes to anything, because the most important thing that I took away from this list is communication. Mm-hmm. And that's only because if you're going to talk about it with that person, and I'm guilty of not doing this, I feel that if you get it off your chest, it won't be sitting there, and you won't. Y'all won't be
like an elephant in the room.
Right, right. But that's pretty much it when it comes to me.
Okay. For me, pretty much the same. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, you need to clearly, or let me rephrase. This is my advice. You need to clearly define your expectations in your dating situations and in your relationship, really in any situation where you're dealing with another human being. You need to clearly define your expectations, but do so in a respectful way. We gotta, they be on them apps like, bitch, don't come over here if you ain't trying to smoke some weed and let me pound them guts. Like, calm down, sir. Well, you can articulate that in a much better way.
Right. Because I'm not smoking your weed because I bring my own. And I'm not letting you pound nobody's guts because that is disgusting.
I don't know what smoking weed means.
All I know is how to eat it.
It says, but yeah. And another thing is realizing that your norm is not necessarily everybody's norm.
Right.
And I think a lot of people in this country have that problem. Everybody's norm can be different. The thing is, like Chelshire said, communicating what that means to you. What does a relationship mean to you? And what do you want out of it? What do you need out of it? And what do you expect of your partner? Because, you know, honestly, like, in the year of our Lord, 2017,
1720,
with all these scammers and scattered ass out here, like, you can't be...
Scattered asses and scammers.
Scammers and scattered ass. That sounds like a mixtape.
It does. It really does.
We gonna write it. That's our mixtape, y'all. Scammers and scattered ass.
And then the Bible say, scattered ass and scams, because y'all know how I do. I'm stupid. Y'all should see this eye roll I'm getting.
Anyway, that's it. Have the conversation so that you're not caught out there like Khalees.
Right.
I
hate you so much right now.
Right, and
Ooh.
as beautiful as Lemonade was, I mean that is not a good feeling to have to go through all of that. So, I think we're done. We're done.
We are done.
That was kind of fun.
It was.
I think you guys probably heard where I was talking about. You kind of have to take all of this with a grain of salt. Mm-hmm. With any advice talking about relationships, you need to take it with a grain of salt. Don't be following that shit blindly. Don't be sitting up here letting Steve Harvey, old macadamia nut looking ass.
Don't let that that's been married 15 times tell you shit.
Right.
Yeah. Let me not start because I have my own personal problem with Steve Harvey, and a lot of people don't understand.
We all have a problem with Steve Harvey.
I really do not like that man. Like, I really do not like that man.
All right.
So, if you want to find us, because this bitch did not know where the fuck he was going.
Sure did.
You can find us at gaysidestories.com.
Sure can.
You can hit us up on Instagram.
Sure can.
Snap. Are we on Snapchat?
No.
Okay, we're not there yet.
On Instagram, Twitter,
and
Facebook, and Tumblr.
And Tumblr at thegaysidestories.com.
Right.
I mean, .tumblr.com. Whatever. The Gay Side Stories. Search for it that way.
Right.
To find us on Tumblr because that bitch got Gay Side Stories.
Mm-hmm. If you want to send any gay side stories or wisdom, you can send those to any of those, or you can send it to the email gaysidestories@gmail.com,
right?
Or you can use the contact link on the website.
Or you
it's
can
all set up for you guys.
It's all there for you to go ahead and communicate.
Yes, indeed. And also on the website, don't forget, under the extra section, there are links directly to Chelshire and to my blog, Trill Minds.
Trill Minds.
Also, guys,
you should always say Trill Minds.
It needs like a sound,
like a real that, deep voice,
like that.
Trill Minds,
like the sound from X-Files. Trill Minds,
right? Like for real, like. So, did you go to Trill Minds today?
But did y'all?
Right.
Do it right now.
Do it. Look it up.
All right. Also, guys, remember that you can subscribe on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, and or
Google Play Music.
Yes. Please do us a huge favor and rate and comment on the episode.
Share. Come on,
episodes.
And don't forget to share it, y'all.
Y'all, them drinks, them shots. Woo. Woo. Let's wrap this up. Chelshire, where can the people find y'all?
Y'all know where you can find me. You can find me in the club. Posted all up. I'm finna go because I'm about fucked up. Okay. I am Chelshire. CHELSHIRE. You can hit me up on Twitter. Instagram with the _ after the Chelshire. Snapchat with Jamie, JAYME, because my mama spelled my name right. JAYME _ Chelshire, which I don't really get on that bitch like that. Tumblr, I'm Chelshire, which is just the same shit from Instagram. You can do a Chelshire at gmail.com. Yeah, that's out there somewhere. Right. It's on Gmail. Pretty much anywhere. If you hit me up, I will hit you back. We can talk. If you just want somebody to talk to, I'm a great listener. Go for it. Oh, and I'm mostly on Periscope.
Yes.
That's where you will really find me, because I'm always scoping about some bullshit, because I just love to be live and to talk to my little friends on Periscope, because we talk about everything. Like everything. Where can they find you, Trill Minds?
You can find me sleep on the couch. You can find me as Trillificent, as TRILLICENT. trillificent@gmail.com. Find me on Twitter. Find me on
You didn't spell it right.
I did?
No, bitch. You cannot find him like that.
Really?
You didn't put no F-I.
I didn't?
No. You was like TRILLCIE.
BICTH. And in that order.
Come on, y'all know I love my baby. Don't do my friend.
All right. That's what I get for trying to spell it after I've been drinking and not read it. Whatever. Find Trillificent on all the shits. You know, if you want to snap me, go ahead. If you want to send me stuff on Gmail, go ahead. I'm on Twitter. I be on Twitter. What else? Tumblr. I'm on Tumblr sometimes.
You're there.
You know, just find me. Just type it in. Y'all know how to spell that shit. Because clearly I don't. Good luck, everybody. By the time you guys hear this, it will be the last day of Black History Month. So, with the final Happy Black History Month, Black 65, 365. Jesus Christ. Let me just end this shit because clearly I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. All right, y'all. Thanks for listening. See y'all next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.